The Romeike family are devout evangelical Christians who fled Germany in 2008 to escape persecution for the horrific crime of homeschooling their 5 children. That was the reason that they had to flee Germany. They thought their children were their responsibility and not the government's. The Romeikes sought asylum and made a new home for themselves here in the United States. And for the last 15 years, they've lived in East Tennessee. But now, they face the heart-wrenching prospect of deportation back to Germany, where their beliefs are still at odds with German law. Now, in a desperate plea to the Biden administration, they're asking for sanctuary and a chance to continue living the American dream. I want you to welcome to the show Uwe and Hannah-Laura Romeike and Homeschooling Legal Defense Association attorney Kevin Bowden. I've got to tell you guys, this is one of the most just compelling stories that I've heard in a long time. And Uwe, I want to start with you. You're a father. You've got 5 children, 6 children?
7 children.
7 children, yes. Okay. They just keep coming, don't they? But you came, there were 5 of them when you came.
That's right.
15 years ago. And you just wanted to live your lives. You weren't asking the government of America to provide you housing or health care or anything. Just let us live our lives and homeschool our children because you love God. You want to raise them in biblical principles. And it's for a while been okay, but now they've suddenly come and said, bring your passports. They're going to deport you to Germany, where you would be arrested and face heavy fines and have your children virtually taken from you. What on earth? What's the story here?
Well, Governor, thank you for having us. And we came here seeking for freedom. And after now 15 years, we were told we have to go to that ICE office once a year to check in person. And this time we were told to come back with passports and then self-deport.
And just take off and go back to Germany. What happens if you do self-deport and go to Germany?
The reason why we actually fled Germany was when they changed the law so that they could take away the children from families without even having a court hearing. That was for us the point, to leave, to flee and to seek asylum here.
You know, what is so remarkable here in America, homeschooling is rapidly growing. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of parents are homeschooling their children. And I think the pandemic, where people were forced to homeschool, only accelerated it. And what you're telling me is that in Europe, and specifically in Germany, it's not that it's expanding. They are cracking down and saying, no, you're not allowed to do that. We will take your children away from you if you do it, if you act like a parent and decide what's best for your children.
Right.
Kevin, I know you're the attorney for the family and you're trying to help them. Have you ever seen anything quite like this before?
We have not, at least not for a family that came here that's been model residents of this country for 15 years to suddenly say, it's time to go home to a country that you left so long ago.
Hannah-Laura, I'm curious as a mom, what does this do to you when you think that a government wants to take your children away from you?
I will protect them like I did back in Germany. But the older ones, I can't protect as much here, and I want to just spare them from that heartache again.
And, the thought, you've gone every year, as you were asked to do, to show up and let them know, hey, things are fine, we're still here. Here's what I don't understand. Millions, not thousands, millions of people have crossed our southern border. They don't check in with anybody. They say they're seeking asylum, but there's no evidence in some cases that there's really someone trying to take their children away from them. In fact, some of them have their children taken away on the journey here, turned into sex slaves, so it's a horrible thing. And these are people who are not being deported. So this is hard for me to understand. Why would the U.S. government make you want to leave the country when you've not even asked for government assistance? But the millions that have come across, they're told, don't worry about it. maybe if you come back in 3 years and show up for a hearing, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but we're not going to do anything if you don't. How could that possibly be right? Kevin, how can we help this family?
Well, it's not right is the short answer. And so there's a couple of things that I hope folks will do. They can sign a petition, go to hslda.org/Romeike, sign the petition there. What we hope to do is just demonstrate broad support across the country for this wonderful family. And in addition to that, Representative Harshberger has filed a private bill in the House of Representatives. That's been sent to the House Judiciary Committee. Jim Jordan's the chair of that committee. And according to updated policy from ICE, if there's a private bill filed and there's a request from the committee for an investigative report from ICE, that will provide an effective stay of any removal action. So that committee can request this report from ICE, and that would allow at least the Romeikes some temporary respite. It's not a long-term solution, but it would provide some short-term respite from the situation.
So every single person watching this show needs to contact their own congressman and senator, but particularly their congressman.
Yes.
Ask them to support the Romeikes, but also ask them to support this bill and to try to get the House Judiciary Committee under the leadership of Jim Jordan to make sure that this at least gives them some temporary help. Is that what they can do?
That's what they can do.
And they can pray for them. I mean, I don't want to minimize the fact that praying for this family is an important part of helping them because, you know, when you've got two governments basically trying to destroy this family, God's bigger than both those governments and
Amen.
all of them combined.
Amen.
And we need to remember that. Daniel is 26, his wife Hannah. We also have Joshua, age 23, Christian, age 21, Damaris, 18, Sarah, age 12, and Rebecca, age 10. They're all here, and very nice to have you. I want to tell you, none of you guys look very dangerous to me. I think you all look quite delightful, and I'd love to see you stay, and we're going to do everything we possibly can, and we're going to ask our audience to do everything we can to try to help you stay. Let me just ask, tell me about your experience as a young person. You came 15 years ago to America. Did you like it when you first got here?
Absolutely.
That was the right answer, by the way. We want to make sure. Tell us what you liked about America when you came.
Well, the freedom we can experience here to homeschool, to practice our faith, to and all the support that we had from friends, family. It was just a great experience.
If there was a deportation because you're married, would you be able to stay?
Not at this moment. It doesn't look like it.
They would make you leave and leave your wife, Hannah, behind. That I can't even begin to get my arms around the insanity of that. Hannah, what would that do to you?
I'd be devastated, obviously. I'm currently in nursing school, so I wouldn't be able to go to Germany with him for about 8 more months. So
Well, that's all the more reason we don't need that to happen. Sarah, yours is an easy name for me to remember for reasons I don't know. But this must be frightening to you. Were you born here in the U.S., right?
Yes.
So you are a citizen, correct?
Yes.
Can they still deport you or just deport your parents and say, good luck, kiddo, you're on your own?
Well, they would probably either put me in foster care, and then I would be, according to news, I would be tested, and just horrible things would happen to me.
I just can't even imagine that. Uwe, as a dad, I mean, obviously you love your family. You've made huge sacrifices for them so that you can raise them in a biblical atmosphere. What goes through your mind on a daily basis when you think about having to fight for your families staying together?
When we first came here, God really led us here. He opened all the doors. So it was miracle after miracle, first of all, to come here and then to get to stay. We had ups and downs, but God was always faithful, and we trust him because we made this experience in the past for him to do the same now and in the future.
Hannah Laura, I asked you before as a mom, how this was affecting you. But, you know, as I look at your family, a beautiful family, and I'm thinking, I don't know of any community in America that wouldn't be thrilled to have you guys living amongst them. But what is the nightmare that you have to think about on a daily basis?
I just want to testify that we really have peace, you know, that Lord has promised us peace. And for me, it's a test, and you know, this is like a storm. And the Lord told me, you know, storms you don't fight, you hide. You hide in a shelter, and that's where I go. I go under his wings to hide, you know, and he will prepare a way. I believe that he can do something. So many are praying for us, you know, and it's powerful for us. We felt it before. It's like a peace covering us. And so I want to encourage the people, we feel your prayers, and they are powerful, like the Bible says.
What a beautiful way to approach it. I just can't begin to tell you how passionate I feel about all of us helping this family. And if you want to learn more about this case and also the Homeschool Legal Defense Fund, you can go to Huckabee.tv. We have links to the family, links to the Homeschooling Defense Association, and help them, pray for them. Please reach out to your member of Congress. Don't put that off. Do it immediately and keep doing it. Let's get with this family. Let's help them. They want to be here, and they've shown that they are responsible, and juxtaposed against these folks who have come and tried to do everything the right way, our government has said to millions of others who have no sign of support, who have no convictions about raising children like this, yeah, come on in. Folks, we just can't let this happen to this family. Please help us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will now. The button is just below this video, and there's a little bell next to it. If you click on those, YouTube will reluctantly start letting you know when we've got a new video uploaded.